I'm Suzanne Rath, and this is Endures, your daily podcast dose of endurance, leadership, and life. Now, Sunday is normally my day for reflecting on the week that's just gone and planning for the week ahead. And last week I shared my 7 C's framework where we can reflect on things like calendar, content, and so on to give us a bit of a framework for doing that. But today I've also been mapping out my year ahead. Now, this has existed on my electronic calendar for a while, it's existed in my head for a while, and I've been planning some of my big goals for this year for a little while. But putting it on an actual physical calendar, 1, makes it real, and 2, enables me to really see where there's a bit of an overload of, say, travel or work or conferences or whatever it might be, and where I might want to shift the balance a little bit more rather than just saying yes to everything. And so this is what my calendar currently looks like. You'll see it's a perpetual year calendar if you are looking at the video, because I'm try to be as environmentally aware as possible. And it's pretty full, and that is actually just with some of the non-negotiable adventures and work things that are already locked in. So conferences, courses, different things like that. I haven't put every little day-to-day thing. I also have a default diary that lives in my online calendar. So we don't want our calendar to be like a to-do list, okay? But what I actually read just before I started doing this today was about the Japanese concept of Misogi. And this so aligns with a lot of my messaging in my Beyond the Peak keynote and in my endurance leadership work. So the concept of Misogi is the concept of setting one big goal a year. And that idea is about a goal that scares you, maybe something that you don't think that you can necessarily achieve, depending on what you read. And so if you do this every year, say between the age of 30 and 70, then you have 40 of these amazing experiences that hopefully at the end of the year you can look back and be proud on. Now that might be pushing yourself in work, it might be something like a long water fast, like a friend of mine has just done, it might be a big piece of travel, but it needs to be a little bit out of your comfort zone, because growth does not live in the comfort zone. And so on my calendar for 2026, there are a couple of things I think are achievable, but are still pretty big. So in October, we will be climbing Everest Base Camp, which is very exciting, with an amazing Cairns-based company called Take On Nepal, who are one of the only companies to hire female trekking guides, and that takes women out of this life of early marriage or slavery and all these terrible things that can often happen to young girls in Nepal. But the second one, which, nothing happens unless you commit, I have just locked down in my calendar for the Easter weekend to attempt to run from Sydney to Newcastle on the Great North Walk. Now, this is 2.7 times longer than I have run in one go before. It's about 270 Ks and involves 2 ferry crossings. I will need a lot of support. Do I know if I can do it? No. I think I can, but there's so many things that can go wrong at those distances. But it really fits with that concept of Misogi. So that is my little thought to leave you with. What is the one thing you're going to do in 2026 that when you finish the year, you can look back and think, I can't believe I did that. Or, I'm really proud of that. Or I didn't think I could do that. Or even something you're going to commit to that, maybe has a 50-50 chance of success. And that's okay, because if you don't try, you never know. Have a great day, everybody. I'll see you back tomorrow for more from Endures.